Welcome to the Monster Hunter Podcast Show. It's episode 66. It's 2012 and I ate a fish. Hi, and welcome to the Monster Hunter Podcast. I am Christian from Game Design Reviews, Game Design Scrapbook, and SocialDissonance.com.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. He exploded.
Bad.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. This is Shepard, and pardon my excess.
What? Excess?
Exhalation?
That's
for my...
Oh, you mean... Oh, I see what you mean.
Fart?
I thought you were talking about a group from the 90s.
Backstreet's back.
Excess.
Hello, this is Noxella from SocialDissonance.com, and you're listening to Smooth Jazz 97.1.
Imagine how much better this podcast would be if we just had a light jazz theme playing the entire time. Like no audio music, like our voices would even be like a little muted, and like the entire focus was just watching us like play Monster Hunter poorly, and just like a light jazz background the entire time.
Oh man, that would be so awesome. If you are one of our listeners and you can play jazz, get in touch with us. We need to get this jazz started.
Yeah,
My favorite jazz instrument is a muted trumpet.
Oh.
Why are you down with
Wow.
censorship, Noxella?
Trumpets sound cool when they're muted.
I think
That sounds like you shouldn't let this trumpets play free.
No, it's like, do you know what a mute is?
Yeah, I know. It's like the little hat they put at the end, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like cantees, you know, like they could be louder, but they're like holding back. It's like Dragon Ball Z, but with trumpets.
It's almost like we're like holding hands.
Oh wow, you're about to kiss. Oh gosh,
I just did. I went in for it.
your hair are touching.
Your hair's poking me.
And that cat is getting the hell of a view right now. My god!
You're also joined at the hip, man. Wow.
Whoa! Okay, that
I'm
cat
outta
just
here.
headbutt us right. Okay.
Hey, where are you going?
I may have to put like a black censor box over that because I don't know that cat is actually allowed. I don't.
Well,
Yes, so welcome back, everybody. We haven't been so regular recently. Still,
Where the hell did you go, Christian?
I'm still eating and drinking and stuff like that.
where did my podcast go?
But it's right here, right now, right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yes, you don't have to go anything. It's here. And we are going to play Monster Hunter Portable 3rd because we haven't been playing it for quite a while. And in fact, Social and me are playing the HD version, which not many people are using, I think.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of barriers to entry.
Yeah.
You need to have a PlayStation 3. I mean, most fans of Monster Hunter, some of them may have bought a PlayStation 3 originally assuming that there was going to be some form of Monster Hunter on there. I mean, Sony did promise that, I think, or maybe Capcom promised it. I don't know. Capcom lied, felines died. That's all.
It's okay.
Oh, wow.
Monster Hunter fans in the West have much to look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Maybe next year.
They're gonna.
Maybe Dynamic Hunting will get a PS Vita port. Isn't that
Ooh.
great?
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, can you imagine how angry people would be? Oh my god.
If this became
What
like a...
Oh
if?
my god.
What if it got a 3DS port?
Like off the DSi store?
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
3DS already will get a Monster Hunter game, so 3DS is taken care of. Now we need to see what happens with the Vita.
Well, I mean, they're getting it in Japan. Despite people pulling up the same old, expired magazine article over and over again saying that there's going to be Monster Hunter on the 3DS in the West, there's still no guarantee of that.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's going to do something like that. I have it. Well, in Germany we say it. I have it in my urine.
What?
But it's nothing dirty. It's a German thing.
What?
Okay.
What is urine?
Urine.
Okay, it's
in
the
my
same
pee.
thing.
In my pee.
Okay. So you pee out Monster Hunter.
No, I pee out Wisdom, and the Wisdom is that Monster Hunter will come to the 3DS. I'm pretty sure in Europe and in the West as well. Because you know why I'm sure?
Why?
Because
Are you on the localization team? Is that?
No, but I'm sure because of Operation Rainbow.
Operation Rainbow?
Rainfall.
Rainfall?
Huh? Cherry Blossom?
No, Rainfall. Because I recently got the last story. It just came out in Europe, and apparently they also changed their opinion and will come out in America as well. What you bet?
Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. Xenoblade is coming out too.
Yeah.
I should probably. I mean, I already have a copy, but maybe I should buy another one.
You already have a copy of Xenoblade?
Yeah.
So what do you think about it?
I heard it's a long game. I got about halfway through it.
Wow, that long? I just got the first stage.
I don't know. I mean, it's been like since before Dark Souls came out that I played it. It was around that time. But it's pretty. I mean, it's a sweet game. That's for sure. It's one of
really
the best RPGs I've played in a long time.
Yeah, that's really nice. And the last story is I just got recently, and I was really blown away by it. It's a very different game. It's not really like a full-blown RPG. It's more like it's really weird. It's like a mixture of what would happen if Gears of War and Final Fantasy had a love child.
What?
I know, it's so crazy. There's like cover mechanics. There's real-time combat. It's not really like you can go anywhere, but it's like level-based.
That sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's really crazy. They're like tiny subquests in like city kind of environments, which remind you very much of Assassin's Creed.
Can you like assassinate people?
No, but you walk around in something that looks like Venice, and you can.
Oh, that sounds nice. The
Yeah.
graphics are good for a Wii game.
They're amazing. It's easily the most amazing game on a Wii I've ever seen.
But better than Xenoblade.
It's much better because Xenoblade, kind of the environments looked really great, but the faces were kind of like
Yeah, they're.
wunderbar. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
and the
I should probably beep that out. That's probably really offensive to some people.
Well,
oh my god.
no,
Yeah.
oh, you mean you just said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that.
I thought you meant you were kind of down on this.
Yeah, I am pretty down on those chases. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
So yeah, they looked like a little bit blurry. I thought that was the main problem. It looked like a very blurry texture in some cases, and the faces and especially the character models in the last story are amazing. They're so high poly and they look like high poly, and they look like they have these amazing costumes. The costumes are wow. I never was impressed by the costumes in the game, but I'm impressed with the last story. It's amazing.
What was that one game that was really fast-paced? Resonance of Fate. They had like really good costumes in that, didn't they? The girl had like a ton of different costumes.
Oh yeah.
It was released around the same time as Final Fantasy 13.
A little bit earlier, I think. Oh no, Resonance of Fate was the one in the Sky City, right?
Yeah, I didn't. My brother got it. I never got a chance to play it.
Yeah. I just saw like reviews and trailers and stuff like that, but it looked fine. But the thing is that Resonance with Fate is like a PS3 and Xbox 360 game, so having a high poly character there is not a big deal.
It's expected.
Yeah, but on a Wii, being able to be able to just disregard the technical limitations of the Wii and just create something that could be a competition to a PS3 or Xbox 360 game. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, and well, the two Dobos have combined forces.
Maybe they.
It kind of makes you wonder, why did this particular company go out on such a limb to make a Wii game when they could have just made a PlayStation 3 game and not have to spend so much programming effort towards getting a Wii game that would look like that? You know what I mean?
It is a little bit weird, and the thing is, that it is, what the story is behind the game, right?
No, not really at all.
So
Nope.
There's this guy who, back in the days, he made Final Fantasy 1.
Oh, I thought that was the guy that made Xenoblade.
No, that's
it's not. This is the guy that made the last story.
The Xenoblade guy also worked for Square Enix at some point. He was one of the early designers. I'm not sure which one game.
All right.
I forgot.
Now I'm freaking out.
Whoa.
Now you got me. I'm wigging out. Literally losing my mind.
Oh wow.
Oh.
This is not good.
Oh, what's the big deal? It's just two Dobos. They don't even do anything. You just stand underneath them and poke them in their beard.
They look they look angry. They're getting at me. Oh no!
They're kind of like tree Deus's. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Huh?
I like that. I like that.
Horns,
you have
beards, lady lumps.
The beard is as impressive though.
No, it's not nearly as good as the Deus.
No, the Deus beard is so amazing. I'm in love with the beard. It looks like a beard you can just lose yourself in.
Yeah, I would nuzzle up to that.
Yeah.
I'd get off in that.
Yeah.
All right,
So last story. It's the guy who was who was the inventor of Final Fantasy. And the thing is that he created Final Fantasy back in the days because it was like his last project. He said, I'm going to do this, and if this doesn't work, then I'm just going to do something else.
Well, yeah, I mean, they didn't have funding for anything else.
Yeah,
and they were just releasing weird little games before that, too.
Yeah, they were making little crappy games. Nothing really worked. And he said, I'm trying to, this company kind of doesn't make much sense, and they don't want to see my inventions and stuff like that. I'm going to make this little project here, and if it doesn't work, then whatever. Go screw yourself, guys. And the thing is that it became this huge hit, right? And then he invested like his entire thing, like the entire money of the company and stuff like that, in the movie Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Yeah, that didn't pay off, I don't think.
And that just went downhill, and he had to step down or take a different role in the company, and it was like, there were huge repercussions. And ever since, he didn't really have such a good control over the franchise of Final Fantasy.
And I think the same thing happened to Goichi Suda. I mean, he's the guy that had a lot to do with Sega's success. Mm-hmm. I think no, Nintendo. He did the Virtual Boy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And he fell from grace pretty hard after that. I mean, Nick is under the belief that Nintendo had him killed by the Yakuza. He insists strongly that is what happened. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, but I'm pretty sure if you do someone real solid and you screw up, they just let one thing go. But then again, it could have cost the stockholders millions of dollars. Maybe they would kill someone for that.
Maybe. There are lots of crazy stories with Japanese developers. So the guy who made Final Fantasy, he just left Square Enix. He's surfing in Hawaii the whole day, and then now he's making this game because he wants to kind of make he's making games that he thinks are awesome.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Was Trauma like your Final Fantasy?
No, because
you were always a game developer for life.
Yes, but Trauma wasn't quite as successful as Final Fantasy, but I like it this way.
I think it was as critically acclaimed.
Certainly,
I liked it as much.
I'm pretty sure I'm better than one of the Final Fantasy games. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm better than Final Fantasy 14.
You were better than the Bouncer. I'll give you that. You were better than Final Fantasy. Yeah, Final Fantasy 13. You're better than that.
I'm better than Duke Nukem 3D. Forever.
Christian, come on. I mean, that's low-hanging fruit. I mean, you have to compare yourself to that.
And man, they've been developing for much longer than I did, okay? And they had a much bigger team.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. We're not going to go through the entire list.
No,
You're
no.
better than a lot.
Yeah.
No,
so, but wait a minute.
Can we talk a little bit about your development?
Wait a minute. I just wanted to mention one thing. And the amazing thing about Last Story is that even Ubo no Umatsu, the sound guy from Final Fantasy, he's also on board.
Good.
It's like
they need that.
It's the second Final Fantasy. I tell you, it's the love child of Final Fantasy and Gears of War. That's all we want to know about.
And there are RPG mechanics. It is still an RPG, right?
Yeah, it's like equipment, everything. But the combat is kind of like you have how do you call it? Kind of like cover mechanics, but with swords. It's crazy. You have to play it. It's just crazy. It just blows your mind.
And it's coming out in Europe or the US, or both?
It's already out in Europe.
Yeah, and it's coming out in the US.
It's coming out in the US.
Okay. Well, yeah, and the interesting thing about Xenoblade is it can only be pre-ordered through GameStop and Nintendo directly.
Huh.
I suggest ordering it through Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because GameStop is doing bad things for games.
Are there some neat pre-order bonuses or something like that?
I don't think so. I think you're just you'll be able to get the game.
Well,
but it's like that's an interesting thing about used games nowadays, because like video games have become so big business. Unless you're super low budget, you're super high budget.
Man, Shepard,
there's no medium scale development. Am I a robot?
You're not the robot. You're like Cher. You're like T-Pain, man.
I believe in life after love. Am I going to die?
No.
That was really close.
Oh! Uh-oh.
Thank you, Noxella.
I broke his tail.
Thank you for working hard. I don't need anything from Dobos.
Not even Sakrams?
Oh, I could probably use more Sakrams, but I just don't care.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I've got a lot of materials in this game.
Or Dobo.
He died a lot. I have really good luck in this game. In Frontier, they have an item that lets you get bonus rewards just by carrying it in your inventory.
Wow.
My.
That's not convenient.
That's super convenient. Is there also ways? I already asked, but is there always some way to import that kind of stuff into the other?
There's no way. There's no that. It's like asking for people to see if there's a way for them to play Portable Third on their Wii, which has been asked. Not to my knowledge.
Nope, not going to happen.
But there are things in Frontier that have been imported into other games in certain ways, like subquests started there. That's where they came from.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually, in order to get like a moderate amount of Camellia stuff really quickly, you can just go in, break his horn, and leave, and be done with the quest in like 20 seconds. It's pretty sweet. Have you ever fought a Chameleos, Christian?
I'm having the quest right now in my Freedom Unite, but I didn't have the courage yet to start. Oh, he just broke my steak. How dare you, Dobo?
I used to have Monster Hunter Fear too, and it was in Unite, because like G rank is just so scary when you're by yourself for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's this monster you've never fought before. He's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, it's like, or maybe you fought him already and he was already hard enough, but now it's like a more difficult version. It's like, I don't know if I can stomach this one.
Just kill it. Come on, kill it.
What? We're doing that. You want me to kill it? I'm poking it in the face. What else do you want me to? He's gonna fall over.
Shoot it with fire.
I'm gonna do a bunch of little stabs to his back. How's that sound?
I'm gonna cut his tail.
That sounds like a good plan. Is that the base Yukomo, or is that like upgrade?
It's the high rank.
High rank version. What does that even have anyway? Does it have sharpness +1 on it or no?
No. Why would it?
Oh, his tail is already broken. Does it get even more broken than this?
Yep.
Yeah.
It pops off.
Oh.
Like a little, like the end of an inflamed pimple or something like that.
Oh gosh! Now you're creating mental images in my head.
Like he's basically the pimple monster. That's what everyone calls him.
Pimple?
What?
Yeah.
Who calls him that?
You mean he's one of the frogs from Battle Frogs? Battle Dogs?
Yeah. What are those guys' names? Pimple, Zit,
and Rash.
Rash. Yeah, ew. Gross.
Oh man, that was an awesome game.
You know, I never had a problem with the speeder level.
No!
I
died!
Really? Christian, no worries, man.
It was a mistake.
I wonder if there's anyone... It was a mistake. Get it? When Christian dies, it's a mistake.
I see what you did there.
Okay.
Kind of funny. I lied.
I'm gonna drink some wine.
If this were America, you could drink moonshine.
Indeed.
Go partially blind. There's a brewery near me that makes moonshine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Isn't
like,
that illegal?
I guess not. Not anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
License.
Well, it used to be this prohibition thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is like high quality moonshine. This is like premium stuff. This is for the 1%.
Well,
Hipsters that want to drink like 1% moonshine.
Well, that's not really strong.
Puncast.
Oh god.
Why isn't he dead yet? Haven't we been hitting him a lot? Have hit him in the face? Have you not?
Oh man.
the other.
We should really get some real sheriff filters on you guys. That would be really awesome. Like making. Have you guys ever played? How is it called? Saints Row, the new one.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it.
Have you played the new one?
Yeah, I played it, beat it.
Because there's a character that has the sheriff filter on.
What was that guy's name? Zeros or something like that?
Okay, and he's talking like T-Pain all the time.
Yeah.
I thought that was a funny idea.
I thought it was a funny idea, but I didn't really like his character because he was still basically a pimp. Like more or less, like you're saving, like, spoilers, you save a bunch of hookers, and he's like, alright, you're saved. Time for you to be my hookers now.
That's not really cool.
Not really. It's not like it's Amsterdam where, like, they choose that sort of stuff. Like,
Oh man, Amsterdam is awesome.
So tell us about your favorite hooker experience in Amsterdam, Christian.
Well, there's not so much to tell you. Just go to Amsterdam, and there's the red light district there, and it's different from America. Because in America, prostitution is, I think, is it outlawed?
Pretty much 99% of the time.
Yeah, and
It's a business thing in Las Vegas.
nobody dies now, guys.
Well, I'm sure that the dope was just about to die. Yeah, there's certain areas in Nevada. I guess it's okay.
Okay, so in Europe, in most parts of Europe, actual prostitution is okay. I mean, you kind of have to, make health checks and stuff like that. I guess I'm not really sure how it works. I never investigated.
You've never been a prostitute before?
I never know.
What's your going rate?
I've
What's the recommended donation for Christian?
What?
The fans that want to experience your body.
No, my girlfriend
Come
probably
on.
has something against it, and I wouldn't do it either.
Come on, just one ride on the Christian coaster.
Well, in reality, there is like a huge brothel in Cologne, like the biggest in Europe or something.
Oh my god! Say one of the fans of the podcast wants to wrap himself in rubber and play bumper cars with you.
What?
How much?
What?
No, I'm not in this business, Shepard. No matter how exciting you find this idea.
Say you want to finance Trauma 2 and you don't have any IPO.
Well, that will cost me some trauma, I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Let's say you can't get an initial public offering and you need a Christian public offering. What?
I'm taken, man. However you want to. It's not something I want to do. All right.
Okay, I'll stop.
All right. Wunderbar. Yeah. Why, hello there. Here's Christian. It's so nice for you to be in my point of view. I thought I would show you something interesting here. Something really cool that happened to me this week, which is for the following thing. It is the PlayStation Vita, which I just got yesterday. I'm still getting used to this little cool gadget, but I like it very much. And a cool thing I want to show to you is, the Monster Hunter game you can actually play on it. Because, there's been a lot of discussion about if there's going to be a Monster Hunter game on the Vita or not. There is indeed a Monster Hunter game, but it's kind of a little bit differently from what you might think. But first of all, maybe some general impressions of the system. I'm not going to do like an entire review of the thing, because I think there are like plenty of websites that do this much better than I do, and I don't have the time to go through all the details, where you put the games and stuff like that. There are much better reviews than that do this, but I can do it like a comparison from a point of view of a person who wants to maybe play Monster Hunter on this thing. So I brought with me my comparison PSP, which is maybe not a PSP that everybody would have, because it's the one we've been reviewing the last time, which is the special edition PSP. Ooh, what? I've been washing it. Anyway, so I'm going to make a comparison, and if you look at it, it's kind of difficult with this thing. Let me see. There we go. So it is slightly bigger. You would think that the PlayStation Vita is a lot bigger than the PSP, but it is actually just a little bit. The screen is just a little bit bigger than from the PSP. The PSP, the one I have, is really thick because it has these love handles on the back, and the PlayStation Vita is really, really thin device, I must say. It's a really sleek little toy. Of course, the important thing is the thing here in the middle. Let me focus. Camera, we need to focus. Focus camera. Okay, maybe like this. Okay, so it's the analog stick, which is actually really, really interesting. It is actually an stick, so it kind of tilts. Unlike now comes the icky part. Unlike the sliding part from the PSP, which also was a little problematic, and of course, the PSP doesn't have a second stick, which is a very cool thing, of course, for people who are not familiar or don't really like the claw thing. One thing maybe also to note about the controls is that it's a little bit difficult, that the buttons of the Vita are actually smaller than from the PSP. The PSP ones are about the size of a PlayStation 3 controller, and the Vita ones are, they're very flat. They're very flat and really tiny, and especially the buttons are really, really tiny when you compare them to the PSP buttons. Right, and the thing that I really come trying to get used to is the fact that the buttons are also, how the buttons from the PSP, they are like wobbly, when you can kind of wobble them around, you can kind of turn them, you kind of feel that there's some play in them, like there's a spring or something. But in the Vita, they click very much like the, for example, the buttons from the Game Boy SP. Yes. Okay. What I can do, meanwhile, while this is going on, I can do a side-by-side comparison, because I have my European version of Monster Hunter, which I bought on UMD, on my PlayStation Portable, and compared to that, the Vita version, which is still loading. Gosh. Okay. I'm gonna exit this house. Yes. Okay. Now I'm running around, and then I can show you it. How it looked back in the days, or like how it kind of still looks. I'm gonna try to go in exactly the same spot so I can make an exact comparison. Okay, wait a minute. Like this. Well, it's not exactly the same spot, but bear with me, all right? So as you can see, there's a larger screen, and everything looks a little bit more, kind of like you're in there, more cinematic. The problem is, of course, that it's the same resolution, actually. So the game is actually upscaled for the Vita screen. The Vita screen has much higher resolution. But you can kind of see the pixels when you... probably the camera won't pick it up, but you can kind of... Everything's a little bit smudged up when you compare it to... the regular Vita games. There is, if you go on the menu, there is a linear filtering. Oops, the upper portion, the linear filtering thing. But to be honest, I haven't seen much difference. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. And one last thing, but which maybe you, all of you. I'm gonna maybe go into a mission so we can see the right stick working. The proof. Yes. Talk to me. I got money. I don't want your money. I'm on your mission. Give me your business. Okay. Right. So let's focus on the stick first. So I set it as camera controls. As you can see, I can turn it with the right stick. Only I can turn it around, and I can go up and down. I inverted the controls. No, I didn't. And anyway, but you can still invert the controls and everything, so it's wonderful. One thing I noticed when I was doing some experiments with it, I haven't played too much, is that it is a bit sensitive, because usually you can nudge the camera just a little bit if you push just a little bit the analog stick, because it's analog controls. But because it's now kind of pressing the same buttons that the D-pad does, it just goes, either 100% or not. So it's not analog. So when you just nudge it a little bit, whoa, it goes all the way. So it doesn't feel exactly like an analog pad, but it's very, very close. It's just a little bit finicky sometimes, and it's easy to, for example, especially to switch the camera up and down, which is something that you don't normally do when you just move about. To go like this and this and this, and maybe whoa, the camera's suddenly showing the sky. This might be something to get used to, something you have to try. Sadly, I'm not the kind of person that can kind of decide this, because I'm so used to the claw that I will automatically do the claw. And I'm having a very hard time to unlearn this, because when the monster starts attacking me and I'm doing really fancy stuff, then it gets I kind of forget to use the right stick, and I still go back to the claw, because that's what I'm used to. Gosh, how many videos are? I'm just going to ignore this, and instead I'm going to talk about something another that is interesting, which is the fact that it actually works online. So sadly I can't show it right now, because the other guys from the podcast are being lazy and they're not online. But yes, you can use it. I used it today with Ad Hoc Party for the PS3, and it connected to the Ad Hoc Party of the PS3. Sadly, I can't connect those two together, so I don't know what the problem is. If the problem is that that these are like different nationality versions, like this is European one and this is American one, or if the PS Vita is really not capable to connect directly to a PSP. I would be surprised if this was the case. That's something we're gonna have to figure out in the future, or maybe some other people figured it out already on the internet. Just Googled it. And the really nice thing about it is that you can just go out of it at any point, because it's a Vita and it's kind of frozen, and you can do something else. You can check out your trophies and stuff like that. So that's really, really neat. Otherwise, yeah. So that's one of the first kind of the first Monster Hunter games you can play on Vita. If you ask me if this is something you want to do, is this a reason to buy the Vita? Well, it's kind of hard to tell. It's not that much of a big difference, and if you already used the claw controls, it will probably take a lot of time to get used to the stick. The upgrade, as you see, it's not like it's bigger, but it's not like a different dimension of largeness. Just maybe 1.5 centimeters wider or so. So it's a really nice display right there, but it's not something mind blowing. So it's not a must just now, especially if there's no like specific custom made Monster Hunter game for it out now. But the kind of person I would maybe recommend this to is if you've been playing Monster Hunter on the Wii only, and you never actually had the PSP, and you kind of wanted to rediscover Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and maybe have the potential to maybe at some point in the future, when Monster Hunter Games comes out on the Vita, to be able to play it on there. That would be actually a good choice, because then you don't have to learn the claw, because you can use both analog sticks at the same time. And it's generally, and of course, it's a little bit nicer experience than the PSP. On the other hand, of course, now that Vita is out, one can expect the PSP to get really, really cheap. So if you're on a budget, then I would probably recommend you to just wait it out, and wait at least until some really, really good games come out for the Vita. Yes, generally I'm really liking the system. It's really nice. It's It's not really a revolution. It's nothing new. It's nothing that you really haven't seen before. But the package is really, really tight. They fix a lot of problems that we had with the PSP. So I would call it actually a PSP2. It's really an evolution of the old system and really, really nice. So that's it for today. And we are going back to the regular program.